Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we haven't visited with you in a while, because the last time you were all upset
My voice was all
because
super high.
your voice was like, it wasn't to your liking.
We could probably pitch shift each other.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want me to, I can.
That'd be fun.
What have you been working on?
So we've been iterating on the two-handed controller prototype all week,
Yes.
trying to get the rest of the features implemented and tested out for the feel, the goodness of all the feel. And just the last couple of days, we've come up against like some edge cases that we didn't predict. And so Elijah has been working on a couple of issues that we wanted to resolve before we pitch the feature to the team to decide what we do with it.
Got it.
So this morning we chatted. I was like, hey, here's these 3 problems with this. Really, like, one of them is really the most important to fix. And like an hour later, he's like, hey, so I fixed all 3. And I'm just like, what the shit?
So everyone right now is working on new, they're exploring, they're prototyping, they're creating new features for the game. For those core, if you look at the roadmap, it's like core boulder things. So everyone's working on things like that. You have Sam working on the controller refactor. You have Zabir working on Terrain 2.0. You have Aaron working on modularity and vehicle and for base modularity. Everyone's working on these like core boulder things. And there's this really interesting thing that we're doing where it's like, you sort of have like a show and tell to show the team the progress of like where you're at currently with that thing. So we had some reviews, one of which was for Terrain 2.0. You guys saw that already. And then we also had a review last week for the controller refactor. And it turned into a really interesting conversation. Unfortunately, it's a little too internal for me to share the entire conversation, but the results of it were really cool. It was like, we talked about the controller experience and some really cool ideas for making that as close to or better or equal to the keyboard and mouse experience right now, because those things there's a little disparity there. There's a feeling about the virtual cursor and that it's not very good right now. So we've sort of shown off some of those solutions, but I'm really looking forward to like seeing those things out in the world. And the intention, from what I gathered from this conversation that we had internally, is that we'll have some sort of experience with the controller put out there for experimental. So we'll have people on experimental trying out this new controller refactor, and and be able to experience it for themselves and give us feedback before it goes into like the main build of the game. So really excited about that. It was a great conversation, and I like this idea that like everyone is showing off this new stuff, and I'm gonna try my best to make sure that you guys also hear about this new stuff as it's happening.
I saw what we're calling the pajama suit spinning around, and
Yeah, so you had the little
That's
less
really good.
ballerina,
What's weird
but
is, so when I'm
yes,
going,
still nice. To put this into context, right now you're working on death animations
Yes.
for all of the characters, so they don't just do the same thing.
yeah, so they don't play the same death animation each
and I
time.
think that,
Yes.
Oh, that might be
Nice.
Just
Cool.
for variety,
That might be
because
other I guess.
I'm an animator.
Unfortunate part
We
is that
like
you
we like
spend a lot
variety.
more-
Yeah, well, there is a fall death anim
Ooh,
that's never
Yeah, 'cause you're, like,
seen
missing
new
out.
things.
because it doesn't ever get played. Where is it? Fall.
I like the pose he's in right now.
Yeah, that's the falling. So it's like
He's like, oh, I saw you working on this one. I really like this one a lot. This is based off
Yeah.
the previous one.
the previous one. It's based off of that, and then I've kind of tweaked it for Bubble Suit. But
It's cool.
if once this gets working, because then I can have different deaths for this per suit. 'cause,
Right.
Yeah, there's right now it just goes right into the normal death, which is weird. You land and then it just like plays this.
Right.
I landed. Oh. it's
I
a little
broke
dramatic.
I broke my legs, but like, let me take 2 more steps and then I'll die.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's a little dramatic.
But for right now, you're just working on the straight up death animations for all of
Each
the
suit.
suits.
Yes. We're also like.
It's a very sad week. I look over and I just see like Astroneers dying
that's-
over and over and over.
Well, that's
and
why
over.
I'm doing the one that I was working on.
Yeah.
It's a little less depressing.
Yes.
It's like, you.
The other one last week was like super sad. Everyone was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is."
Yeah.
I
Wait,
want to hug a puppy
what was
after
that?
this.
Was that Bubble Suit or was that?
I don't
let's see.
remember. That's sad. Oh, that's
Oh,
so
yeah.
sad.
It's an expensive power grid.
That
I
is
like
cool.
them reaching towards whatever.
Yeah,
That's a theme that I have with deaths.
I feel like I might, if I was out of power and oxygen, I would just be like,
Well, out of power is fine. That doesn't kill you. Well, yeah.
kind of.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for showing me stuff. You can, I'm.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Yes.
Bye.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Senor Elijah.
Hello,
Joe.
Oh, what? Come on.
I feel like we should be whispering right now because you're working on secret things.
I am working on secret things. I'm working on.
I won't swing around to the screen because that would reveal. That would tip people off.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've been working on something.
It is. It is new content. I know. It is.
Yeah. Reworking something that hasn't been in the game but was almost in the game.
That's correct.
And we'll definitely have more to say about it, but I think the important thing to say is it will be in the next update.
Will be the next update.
Yes, in its first form, and then it'll be iterated on, I'm sure.
It is an item. I'll say that much.
Yeah, what can we say without revealing too much right now? It's an item.
I will say it's an item, and it's very useful for exploring.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all you get. You have to be patient for the rest. Computer. It's not a computer.
Is it a computer? No, it's not.
No. It's a computer.
There'll be more stuff to come, kind of in this vein.
For sure. Actually, so what I wanted to bring up is part of the reason why things like this can happen now is because we have other engineers, right? We've got some new people.
Yeah.
And I know there's been some people being like, hiring, why? Like, this is why, right? Now we have more bandwidth to do more things.
This is why. I mean, System Era. It's not a big company.
Right.
And video games are hard to make. Take a lot of time. A lot of hours just need to go into it.
Did you empty this out?
So when you only have an engineering team with a couple people, you kind of pick between pushing the game forward in long-term capacity or working on like immediate things.
Right.
So now that I've hired more people, like me, you can get the option to kind of do a little bit of both.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm
and-
excited. I'm excited at that prospect.
Me too. I'm very excited too.